Howdy ArtyAliens, and welcome back to Drawing Stuff with Paul Yateman. Today I will show you a couple of ways to draw heads. First way will show 4 stages, the second way uses reference lines and builds from that. Finally, I will show you how to extract the pencil to a dedicated layer and add colour to your sketches in Photoshop. Be aware that there are lots of different ways to draw heads and faces. This tutorial is how I drew heads and faces today. As there are 4 stages listed in how to draw heads in the Fundamentals of Drawing Anatomy, I drew 4 starting cross lines. As I began to draw the first head, I decided I needed some extra assistance, so I decided to change the crosshairs to a series of 4 cm wide by 6 cm high boxes. This means that along with the starting crosshairs, each box was divided into quarters. After drawing the first egg head shape, I added some guidelines and proceeded to draw the remaining heads until all 4 boxes contain an oval. Stage 1 of heads is simple. A line is drawn from each outside vertical midpoint of the head to about halfway along the bottom line to show where the jawbone and chin is. Stage 2 repeats what is done in Stage 1 and adds in the details of the mouth, eyes, nose, cheekbones and temples. Stage 3 builds on Stage 1 and 2 and adds details such as ears, brows, lips, and also fleshes out facial features such as wrinkles. And I found it's not a problem at this stage to alter the shape of the head. Stage 4 takes everything we have done in the stages 1, 2 and 3 and produces a finished face. Here you can add the finer details of eyebrows, ears, the nose and eyes, wrinkles, shading and whatever else you think might make the face look like a face. To finish the stage 4, I add a darker outline, some shadows and finally a neck. For face drawing technique number 2, I am using another 6 by 4 cm grid. However, instead of dividing these into quarters, I halve the box vertically, then halve the lower box vertically, and then halve the lower box vertically. For some reason, my video stopped recording, and by the time I realised I was up to here. For this series of faces, I started with the overall shape and then I added different eyes and noses and then added details I thought went with the initial face shapes. This resulted in a city looking character on the left. Next we have a surprised looking lady. The third face sort of looks like the lead singer of the Prodigy, and the last dude is very much bearded. I also decided to make him chubby and leave him bald. Here are the books I used as reference. Both I find to be quite good. The anatomy book is all about humans and the fantasy bible covers much more, both in the way of, say, warriors and amazons and rogues and also imps and dragonkin and various other creatures. Here I have scanned my drawing and loaded it into Photoshop. I will show how to extract the pencil from the background and give it its own layer. So first I clear up the line work a little by adjusting the levels. I then use the lasso tool to cut around the face, invert the selection and fill that with white. And I found that practically this step can be skipped. So from here I select the channels window and click on RGB, which selects the pencil work of the image. I then fill that layer with black. And you can see when I hide the background layer, all we have left is the pencil on its own layer. Following this, I give another background layer and colour it in white, and I give the layers sensible names. I now start to add some colour. I altered the red hair I drew before starting this tutorial and make it orange. After that I add some hints of colour to the female face. So to the female I add green eyes, some eyebrows, some pupils, I give her some red lips and colour in her face a little bit. So when we pull back the image to about the size it is on my sketch pad, it doesn't look bad. The next face I decided to colour was Beardy Boy. I gave his beard 3 similar browns and added a grey background layer. And I'm filling it in fairly haphazardly, give the impression that it's a fluffy beard. I then colour in the rest of his head and I zoom in for the fine work. I erase this layer on his eyeball to make that white, add his pupils and some more dark elements, so his nose holes and his mouth hole. I then give him blue eyes and erase some of this layer to give the highlights for the eyes. Next I create a new layer that I will be ultimately adding some subtle colours to. I add in red cheeks and lips and give his eyelids some additional colour and also colour in under his eyes. I then blur this layer and set it to hue. And as this effectively washed out the lips a little, I added some more colour here. And finally I add some shadows to the face. Gives it more of a three-dimensional. So here's the final drawing. We have the drawing process at the top and a total of 5 different faces drawn. So have a go at this yourself if you are new to drawing faces and let me know how you fare. Anywho, if you found this interesting, informative, entertaining, etc., subscribe, like and share. Until next time, you've been watching Drawing Stuff with me, Paul Yateman. Ciao and take care. See you next video.